Hey everyone, it's Dorothy with crazyforcrust.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beauty. It's a 4-layer carrot cake with toasted pecan cream cheese frosting. Even if you don't think that you can make a gorgeous cake like this, you really can. I'm leaving it naked for a reason. I'm not great at cake decorating, but even I can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. Layer cakes are something that I strive for. It's one of those things where I love making them, but they always look better in my head than they actually do in person. But that's okay. I've embraced the fact that I'm not going to be one of those perfect cake decorators, but I can make a gorgeous layer cake, and so can you. This is a carrot cake. We love carrot cake all year round. It's my husband's favorite cake. It's one of the only desserts that he eats. So I make this at his birthday, and I make it at Easter, and all year round in between. And you're gonna want this recipe. It's gonna be a great one to save and keep for any day you feel like toasted pecan cream cheese frosting. Now, making layer cakes isn't something that's super easy because you have a bunch of steps. You have to make the cake, you have to make the frosting, you have to put it together. But I love making naked cakes like this, because naked meaning you don't frost the outside, because it's not gonna look perfect. So making it naked makes it look rustic and like it's supposed to not be perfect. And that's why they're perfect for me. To start the cake recipe, we're gonna whisk together our dry ingredients. I'm starting with 2 cups of all-purpose flour in a large bowl, and I'm gonna add to that salt, baking powder, baking soda, and my spices, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Whisk that together and then set it aside. And then we're gonna deal with our wet ingredients. So I'm gonna start by whisking 4 large eggs until they're nice and broken up and combined. And then I'm gonna mix in 1.5 cups of vegetable oil, vanilla, brown sugar, and granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and just whisk that together. This recipe is so easy, all you need is a whisk. You don't even need a mixer. Once you have the wet ingredients mixed together, go ahead and add the dry ingredients and whisk until a nice cake batter forms. And then you're going to switch to a spatula and stir in 2 cups of shredded carrots. I highly recommend that you grate your own carrots for this cake. Don't buy the shredded carrots at the store. Those are like drier and they're thicker and they're not going to be as pretty and as good in your cake. And then you're going to divide this between 2 8-inch or 9-inch rounds. So you can bake this a few different ways. I baked mine in 8-inch rounds, but you could also use 9-inch, or you could use 3 8-inch if you want. It just depends on how many layers of cake you want. With 2 8-inch rounds, you're either gonna get 2 really thick layers or 4 thinner layers. Same with if you use 9-inch rounds. But if you use 3 8-inch rounds, you can just use those layers and not have to cut them in half. While the cake is baking and cooling, you can make the frosting. We're making a toasted pecan cream cheese frosting for this cake, which is one of my favorites. I love cream cheese frosting. It's the best frosting in the world, and I'm adding toasted pecans, which makes it that much better. So first off, let's toast our pecans. Go ahead and just lay your pecans on your cookie sheet. You're gonna bake them at about 350 degrees. You're gonna wanna pay attention, don't walk away, shake the pan a few times. It's just gonna take a few minutes. The second you smell them, they're done. If you wait too long, they will burn really, really easily, so don't walk away from the oven. You can also do this in a frying pan on the stovetop if you prefer. Once your pecans are toasted, go ahead and chop them up. The frosting recipe has 16 ounces of cream cheese, which is 2 bricks, and 2 sticks of butter. So make sure that you've left those out while you're making your cake. They want to be nice and room temperature, makes it easy peasy to mix it together. Cream together the cream cheese and butter until it's nice and smooth. And then you're gonna add 1 cup of powdered sugar at a time, up to 3.5 cups, until that's smooth. Then mix in some vanilla and some salt. It'll be a nice creamy texture. Then stir in your chopped pecans. All right, once your cakes are cooled, it's time to assemble your cake. And now this is the daunting part. This is the part I always worry about, because I'm like, is the cake gonna fall over? Is it gonna be lopsided? But that's all right, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I made 2 8-inch cake rounds, I'm going to tort the layers. Torting a cake means just to cut it in half horizontally, kind of like think about if you have a dinner roll and you're cutting it in half to put butter on it, right? So that's what we're gonna do with our cake. Now, if you are worried about it being like this thick at one side and like this thick at the other, which I always used to be, you can use toothpicks as your guide to make sure that it's gonna be the same height, that your knife doesn't go like that when you're cutting. But I've gotten pretty good at just kind of eyeballing it and cutting it through. I like using a nice serrated blade for this. I also am leveling off the top of the cake to make so the layers are nice and even and level. And all you have to do is assemble the cake. Go ahead and put 1 cake layer on the cake plate or serving platter. Top it with about 1/4 of the frosting. Add another cake layer, more frosting, another cake layer, more frosting, and the final cake layer, and then the final bit of frosting. And then what I did is I left out some toasted pecans, some whole ones, and I decorate the edge with it just for a little bit of show. Our carrot cake, layer cake. It smells amazing. It's great for Easter because everyone eats carrot cake at Easter. I don't know why. Is it because that's when carrots are popular? I don't know, bunnies, carrots, Easter. But everyone eats it at Easter. I also make this for my husband's birthday because he loves carrot cake. This is good all year long. Anytime, anyone that wants carrot cake, this also makes great cupcakes too, just FYI. I love this cake. Let's slice into it. The spices in the cake and the carrots and that cream cheese frosting. You guys, this is fantastic. What an amazing cake. 4 layers, you can see, layer and frosting. It doesn't matter that it's naked, that it doesn't have frosting around the sides. It doesn't matter. It tastes the same. This cake is fantastic. My husband is gonna love it. I'm gonna go take him a piece while you keep watching.